The state official, Katie McGinty, awarded millions of tax dollars to favored groups and companies.
You have likely seen the ads.
Pat Toomey has been in Washington voting for all these trade agreements that have hurt us.
Filled with negative words and paid for by groups you know little or nothing about.
Katie McGinty, getting ahead at our expense. Freedom Partners Action Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Freedom Partners Action Fund has spent more than $7 million just to oppose Katie McGinty for Senate, but haven't given any money to support Pat Toomey. Who is Freedom Partners Action Fund? They are a nonprofit whose board is made up of Koch brother employees. The Koch brothers control one of the world's largest fortunes and have threatened to spend nearly $1 billion to support their interests.
I just don't trust Pat Toomey to be for me.
Senate Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Senate Majority PAC also has an agenda. They have spent close to $8 million on campaigning against Pat Toomey and another $4 million supporting McGinty. The Senate Majority PAC is a group dedicated to supporting Democratic senators and Senate candidates. On their website, they call out the Koch brothers, writing, "We will fight to elect Democratic senators who will put working Americans ahead of the Kochs and their corporate interests."
There is a pretty much a direct relationship in many cases between those people who give campaign money, or what they expect in return for it, and political outcomes that affect all of our lives.
Barry Kaufman is senior advisor at Common Cause Pennsylvania, a nonpartisan organization.
The money which comes through super PACs, that money is at least recorded as to who gave it. But there's a growing area of money which is given through nonprofit organizations, 501c3s, 501c4s, who can do unlimited amounts of advertising on behalf of a candidate as long as it's so-called not directly coordinated. However, we can't find out who gave that money.
But we were able to track down the supporters who have given big to both Katie McGinty and Pat Toomey. Pat Toomey's top 5 contributors have given his campaign close to $650,000 alone. 2 of the Republicans' top 5 are from right here in Pittsburgh, with $93,000 given to Toomey by employees of PNC Financial and $87,000 in contributions given by employees of Federated Investors. Katie McGinty's top 5 have contributed a little less, nearly $500,000. Of those 5, none are from Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh donors who we found contributed the most to the Democratic candidate's campaign are employees of Carnegie Mellon University, who gave close to $16,000. These, though, are the donations we can track.
Somebody could set up a dummy nonprofit, load lots of money into it, and we would know, we the citizens would never know who's provided that money. We'd only know what that political committee is supporting.
And with the election still a month away, Kaufman expects more millions will change hands, and that money could ultimately control the candidate.
The political officials who are raising this money often feel an obligation for payback, and that payback may not be in the public interest. And it may be things as subtle as introducing a bill, voting against a bill, offer an amendment, backing off an amendment, what bill gets even allowed to get a vote. All those small things in the process have dramatic impacts created by campaign contributions.
Marcy Cipriani, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.